Hi, I'm Dave Bowman from 7 Lives, and you're watching 24 Hours Podcast.
T-minus 4, 3, 2, 1.
Following is a 24 Hours Podcast.
The band is called 7 Lives. Dave Bowman, lead singer. Welcome to 24 Hours Podcast.
Hello.
7 Lives. There are 7 deadly sins. Is there any parallel there?
It's funny that you say that.
Okay.
It actually is very much paralleled with the biblical sense of it all. Yeah, it is. Chris actually, one of our band members, Chris, the keyboardist, he actually came up with the idea of the name. It took us about 2 months of us sitting around and toiling to find a name that was cool.
Now, you're no stranger to the music industry. We got to go back to a little something called Soul Decision,
Yeah.
which you're a member of. Now, let's first of all talk about that, because that was a real huge success. How did you deal with all this, the fame and popularity that came your way?
Well, it was a crazy experience. Like, it was an awesome experience. You know, I got to, number one, go out there and sing and perform, and obviously we had a certain amount of success. So, you know, going out there and singing in front of thousands of people on a pretty regular basis, I mean, it's an amazing thing. You know, we were lucky enough to get on some really good tours, like Christina Aguilera, I mean, NSYNC. We won't get into that, but you know, some pretty big tours. So we got the tour, like, you know, we were in Europe, we were all through North America. So it was an awesome experience, and I mean, you're feeling pretty good. You know, realistically, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. You know what I mean? We're having success, we're selling records, and you know, with that comes, you know, money and women. Mm-hmm. And there you go.
Really? Money and women with music? Wow.
Strange.
Now, unfortunately, I guess you were sort of identified as a boy band kind of thing.
Yeah.
Was it a conscious effort on your part to, you know, find a group? Because this is a pretty kick-ass rock and roll record.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the Soul Decision thing, the funny thing is that we were marketed, I guess, as a boy band thing, which we didn't necessarily agree with, but hence it's the music industry, right? Because, I mean, we wrote all our songs. We toiled for years and years, right? But that was just the nature of the business. And you know what? We kind of went along with that. When I left that band and started 7 Lives here, I made it, you know, it's just, I knew it was time for me to kind of leave Soul Decision, that thing. It wasn't, the music was not where I wanted to go personally, and it just, a lot of personalities in the band changed and things, so it was time for me to move on. And it took me, like, me and Chris Jackson were the first ones that really kind of started writing songs for this project, and then we scoured the streets of Vancouver for about 5 months, really, until we finally found a lineup. And we've gone through about 3 drummers. We're kind of like Spinal Tap that way, which is awesome. They're self-combusting as they go. So, but we're happy with our drummer now, Issa. It's all good.
Let's talk about the recruiting process, because I mean, I know Morgan, I know Murray,
Yeah.
I know Graham. What was the sort of the audition test to be a member of 7 Lives?
You know what? It was funny. Me and Chris actually would pretty much go out every weekend night, and we would just start getting people. We'd just be saying, yeah, we got this band, we're looking for people. We saw Murray, he was playing at a cover band in the cellar called Radio 1, and number one, he was just an amazing player. He could sing, and he was just a smoking player. And I said, the first time I saw him, I went to Chris, I said, Chris, he's the guy we want as our lead guitar player. So we asked him, and he said, yeah, I'm in. We found Graham at Crush. He was bartending at Crush, found out he played guitar. He's a really nice guy. The one thing I think I definitely learned is that personalities, I'd rather take somebody with a great personality who has the drive, you know, to do what, you know, the other bands won't do to make it, instead of somebody who has a lot of talent, but, you know, just sings stuff, you know. So we really kind of concentrated just finding a really good group of guys, and we've been through a lot. And you know, in the 3 years we've been together, we've been through a lot, and you know, I'm happy with the guys that we have. You know, everybody's, you know, not only just bandmates but good friends.
Is the band a democracy, or is it kind of a dictatorship? Because it's kind of hard to get everybody on the same page.
Wow,
you know where you want the band to go.
That is a good question. You know what? It is a democracy. I think that, you know, I think there's certain people that take the lead with with the musical direction, but you know, when it comes down to it, it's like, you know, we pass everything by everybody. It's like, you know, what do you guys think of this? Yes or no? You know what I mean? But yes, it's funny asset, because it is a delicate balance, especially when you're in a studio, because you can't have too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Because if that's the case, then you'd have like this eclectic album sounding from, you know, Enya to Led Zeppelin, you know. So you really kind of got to concentrate on focusing that, and I think it's important everybody knows, you know, what their role is, right? You know, what everybody brings something different to the table, right?
Now, when you're forming a new band and you don't have like a major label behind you, how are you marketing the band? How is your fan following base building?
You know what? Realistically, I mean, we've been using a lot of the internet media, using MySpace and assorted sites like that. The industry has just changed so much. Like when I was with Soul Decision, the industry is just totally night and day changed. We went this route by recording the album ourselves and producing it ourselves. Because that's realistically, the music industry is going that way. Like the independent labels are really what's fueling the whole music industry right now. With so many bands, like stuff like Metric and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's all stuff that they did themselves, right? And it's just getting licensing agreements and distribution agreements. And right now, that's what we're looking for right now is a licensing and distribution agreement. We've been talking to some people, but it's also you got to get the right deal and. Otherwise just, doing live shows, right? Word of mouth. I mean, that's how it all starts. Bands like The Metric and, the Killers and stuff like that, you'd be surprised how many acts have been broken over the internet, blogs, chat rooms, you got to check these guys out, right? And it really generates like that from, Arcade Fire, for example. I was at farmer.com or some like site like that. And that's where all their, interest started generating. It was off the internet. So we've been working that a lot.
Let's talk about the album.
This album is actually... interesting enough is that you can really see that a slight change in our direction and really focusing in on what our sound is. So you get a few different vibes in this album, but they're all really good songs. At the end of the day, we just wanted to write the best songs we could, right? That's what anybody wants to do, right? So I'm happy with it. I'm proud of it.
What is the driving force behind writing a song? Like, do you bring your own personal experiences to a song? Are you looking for the sex in the backseat of a car type of song? What is it that you look for in a composition?
You know what? Almost every one of these songs is actually directly to a story, a personal, something that happened to some of us. I mean, there's a song like, I think I just forgot it, All the Way. It's our super rock ballad. It's a beautiful song. Getting a lot of good response from it, and that song is about a friend of ours who actually committed suicide. This girl committed suicide. It was a pretty horrible experience for some of the guys in the band that happened, and lyrically, that's what that song's about. I wrote the music while I was driving in from Surrey one day, and then Chris had the whole lyrical base, and there you go. So,
got to give a shout out to Surrey because you're a Surrey born and raised.
Yeah, born and raised in Surrey, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with Surrey.
Where do you ideally see the band? Where's the band? Where's Seven Lives 5 years from now?
I see us touring. I see us on album number 3 by then, or maybe 2 if things go so hugely well. But I'd say album number 3 by then, and just, doing shows and just continuing to grow. And obviously selling records and making whack loads of cash and lots of chicks.
Well said. Couldn't say any better. Dave Bowman, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
24hours.ca